Clay Chastain, Fistful of Dollars, 2021 Grand National Two-Wheel Drive Champion. 2 seconds among 4 top fives. In life, success often arises from the optimization of opportunities. For Clay Chastain in the two-wheel drive division, 2021 came in fits and starts beset by stormy skies and soggy sod. But when the chance to advance came calling, his Fistful of Dollars pickup was poised to pick up a few dollars more. On the new track in Atwood, Tennessee, Chastain's pair of fifths earned him sixth heading into what should have been an early season test, but Toma was washed away entirely. In Rockwell, Fistful was again in the top half of the session that survived another soaker. That Friday saw Jesse Petro reach the point lead with the late Hall of Famer Dad's Randy's Kathy's complaint ride. Circumstances then entered the realm of the absurd when the clouds refused to stop sweating in Franklin, at which moment 3 hooks were made, 5 had been canceled, and only 4 remained. In Bowling Green, a second among 48 was good for 30 points and lifted Chastain to third. Christy Seacrest's massive win on Saturday vaulted her into the lead, but Clay's 10th subtly positioned himself in second heading into Hoopeston. There, Petro Motorsports teammates claimed wins but scattered the points too evenly to overcome Chastain's gains, and by a single marker, his Fistful had a grasp on the championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Clay Chastain, your 2021 Grand National Two-Wheel Drive Champion.
Hi, my name is Darren Hartwell, and on behalf of the National Tractor Pullers Association, I would like to welcome and congratulate our 2021 NTPA Grand National Two-Wheel Drive Champion out of Brownstown, Indiana, Clay Chastain with a Fistful of Dollars Ford. Clay, congratulations.
Thanks, Darren. We had a good year, and we're pretty pleased with it.
Absolutely. So, started off the year in Atwood, Tennessee, at a new event there. You had a really good weekend there.
Yeah, Atwood was a new facility. We'd never been there, so we didn't know what it was going to be like. We weren't sure how to set the truck up, but we came out with 2 fifths, and we were pretty happy with the way we finished, but we knew we had to do better going into the next pull.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next pull was scheduled for the Wisconsin Dairyland Super Nationals in Tomah, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, both hooks there were rained out, which takes us to the North Iowa Nationals in Rockwell, Iowa.
Yeah, I think we finished 9th, and we just missed our setup, but we were still doing all right in points. At that point, we weren't really worried about points. If we got 9th, we're like, well, we're kind of out of it. But then going forward, we're like, well, we still have Bowling Green and Hoopeston and plenty of other places to make it up.
Correct. So, unfortunately, the next weekend in Franklin, Indiana was a complete washout, which would have been close to your home for you, about as close to home as you're going to get.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes.
Yeah, so unfortunately that was completely wiped out. So that was 3 hooks in a row rained out. So the next hook wasn't until the National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green, Ohio. So you had a pretty solid weekend in Bowling Green.
Yeah, Thursday night we were like 27th hook out of 48, and we got second. So we were very, very happy with that. And then we were going for the ring, and Saturday we just missed our setup again, and we got 10th. I mean, we missed it by a couple spots, but we were sitting good in points after that. I think we were second behind Seacrest by 3 points.
Yes, and with just 4 hooks remaining, 2 in Hoopeston, Illinois, and then 2 more in Sandwich, Illinois. Okay. Just 2 and 2, the final 2 hooks of the year in Hoopeston, Illinois. And so Friday night in Hoopeston was a good hook?
Yeah, the track got better every pass, and we were fortunate to be a late hook, and I think we got second there. I think we took the lead by 5 points, but we knew that Jesse had Buckeye Holler and Kathy's complaint right behind us, and Seacrest was tied with them, and we're like, oh man, we can't mess up. So we were happy with the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. So you finished 6th on Saturday night to clinch that. So you are the youngest champion in NTPA Grand National history. How does that feel?
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty crazy. Me and my whole crew are still kind of in awe about it. And actually, we didn't think anything about me being the youngest until Greg Randall texted Dad, and he was like, "We're going to confirm it, but I think Clay's the youngest one ever." And I was like, "That's just crazy to me."
Yeah, so Carmen Foster clinched the four-wheel drive title on Friday night as the youngest Grand National champion. Then you clinched the two-wheel drive title on Saturday night to take that crown from her. So it's great. Now shows how good the future of our sport is with all you young people doing so well. So Clay, I know you're a young guy, got that first championship under your belt. How did you get started in pulling?
Actually, the first pull I went to, I was just a couple months old. My parents, I grew up with my parents running the organizations that put the pulls on, and so I always wanted to pull growing up. I worked for them, and whenever I turned 16, my dad was like, "Let's put you in a truck." And I actually started out in a pro stock four-wheel drive that my dad and my older brother used to drive, which was Spellbound. I drove it twice, and I can't even remember how I did, but we after that we went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and Stan Shelton was fortunate enough to let me drive his two-wheel drive. And after I drove it once, I was like, "Yeah, I think we need to do it." And so me and my dad bought it, and with the help of a bunch of sponsors, and we put my crew together, which my crew chief, Lauren Benner, he's one of the best out there. He's never been given the option to be crew chief until we gave him it, and he's really stepped up to his role. And Josh Allen, he's our right-hand man. He'll do anything we need him to do at any time. It could be any time at night. He'll be over in the shop working. It doesn't matter.
That's great, man. It's important to have a good crew. Now, you know, I know you're young, but you grew up in the sport. Tell us a little bit about the relationships. I mean, it's about the competition, of course, when you get on the track, but in the pits and around the country and, you know, during the off season, it's all about the relationships.
Yeah, and we're all just one big family. That's what it is. But yeah, whenever we step on the track, every single person wants to win, no matter what. But after it's all said and done, we all go back to the pits and hang out with each other and have a lot of fun back there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a couple of technical questions for you. So when you're the test hook, what goes into that decision to determine if you want to accept that hook or drop it and come back last?
It's really just how it felt to me, and then I have my crew standing off to the side watching it. I mean, if the front end didn't lift, if it lifted too much, if the truck didn't hook, and if we think it's a perfect pass, we take it.
Okay, so talking about the feel of can you feel it when you have a really good run?
Yeah, you can feel it. Like, you can ask any puller, they'll say it's almost like your butt sits down in the truck, and it does. You can feel it. It takes a while to learn what it feels like, but I think once you get it figured out, it's very noticeable.
Okay, great. So what about a pull-off? What do you guys do, you know, after you make that first run before you come back for a pull-off?
Well, in a pull-off, we're just trying to get the motor cool enough to where, like, I mean, we run methanol, so it burns cool, but it's still burn at 900, 1,000 degrees going down the track. So the first things first, we have to get the motor cool, and then we come back around and we'll throw some more fuel in it that way, because it's going to burn more warm than it is cold.
Okay, so a couple other questions for you. Number one, what were the biggest challenges of this championship season for you?
Probably all the rainouts. You know, in the past we've always done good at Toma and Rockwell, and we expected to do good at Franklin, even though we hadn't been there, because we went to Atwood and did all right there, and we hadn't been there. And rainouts just kill us, and we lost all those points that we could have made up back then.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So what would you say were the highlights of the season?
Oh, definitely the second place at Bowling Green, and then at Hoopston winning. Finding out we actually won the points, it was pretty wild.
That's great. So I know you touched on a few people. Who do you want to thank, you know, sponsor-wise, family, crew, you know, for making this happen?
First, I have to thank my dad. Without him, none of it's possible, and his knowledge for the sport is slim, or it. Ah, damn it, I messed up.
No. Okay. So Clay, you've touched on a few people. Who would you like to thank? You know, sponsors, family, crew, for making this happen.
First, I have to thank my dad. His knowledge for the sport is oh, God. All right, hold on. I can't think of what I'm looking for.
Second to none.
Yes, second to none. I keep saying slim to none. Yes, second
Okay.
to none.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Clay. Who would you like to thank for making this possible? Your family, your crew, your sponsors?
Yeah, first I have to thank my dad. Without this, none of it's possible, and his knowledge for the sport is second to none. And second, my whole crew. They put in a ton of hours, and we all do, and we travel a lot, and we're gone away from friends and family, and it hurts relationships back home, but we're making memories on the road. Lucas Oil, Jody Davis at Torco Race Fuels, he supplies all of our fuel. The UD Motorsports, David and Chase Richardson, without them, this season probably wouldn't have happened, and they've been a great help, and we've been very fortunate to be put with them in our corner. And, yeah.
All right. Great job, Clay. Congratulations. History. This young man made history as the youngest NTPA Grand National champion in history. Your 2021 NTPA two-wheel drive Grand National champion out of Brownstown, Indiana, Clay Chastain with the Fistful of Dollars Ford.